What's up, everybody? Today I'm going to be discussing the top 5 Yu Hakusho characters in the series. Now, if you haven't watched Yu Hakusho, you need to watch it now. It's one of my favorite animes, and it's kind of an old anime. It came out in the 90s, but it's a classic, trust me. Now, for my list, this isn't the top 5 strongest characters, okay? So, you guys can just take out some of those characters you have in mind, because they may not be on this list. But it's just the best characters overall. And obviously, there's going to be some spoilers on this list, but not any real major spoilers. At number 5, we have Kuwabara, the rival of Yusuke, who eventually becomes Yusuke's best friend, which usually how these animes work. I mean, you usually have the rival in the beginning, and then they kind of become, their partner, so to say. But this goofy character comes off as annoying at first, and I mean, really annoying. If you listen to his voice, it's just a headache to hear. But in the first couple episodes, he's really annoying, but eventually you fall in love with him. Just his will to become stronger, it kind of reminds you of Vegeta or even Goku, but it reminds me more of Vegeta just because of him getting beat constantly and then constantly training. And when he finally gets his special power, which would be his spirit sword, and figures out how to really use it with the assistance of his teacher, it's pretty cool. But a part of the reason why I think he's like a really good character is his voice actor, which is Chris Sabat, who voices Vegeta. I didn't know that at first, but then I'm like, oh, this guy sounds so familiar, and yeah, I mean, that helps obviously with his character. But yeah, Cobra.
Don't got regrets, so taste a little piece of my sword, Tagoro.
At number 4, we have Kurama. Now, Kurama is kind of the pretty boy of the anime. I mean, he has the long red hair with the nice purple suit, and he has like the rose with him. That's what I like to think of him. But his backstory is basically he's a demon fox who put his spirit inside of a newborn baby in order to kind of hide from his past. But this demon fox comes off as soft when he's first introduced, but when he decides to fight using a rose, and I mean seriously, he uses a rose to kill his opponents, my first reaction was, what the hell? But that's not what makes this demon fox so special. It's when he reveals his true demon silver hair form, Yoko Kurama, when he becomes a true kind of a savage, and it kind of takes over. And you can kind of see that he doesn't care about his opponents, because Kurama in his regular form, he kind of holds back, and he's kind of like a nice person. And Yoko Kurama is kind of his defense form, used in emergencies only. And when he was going to die in the Dark Tournament, that's when this form took over. And that's what kind of makes him dangerous. So at number 3, we have Yusuke. So if you're planning on watching the series, I would kind of skip this part. But yeah, he's the main character of the whole series who has the biggest mouth. And his story kind of starts off by him dying through saving a little kid from being hit by a car. And it kind of shows what type of character he is, you know what I mean? But however, he comes back to life with the ability to shoot his signature move, which is called the Spirit Gun, which he uses his spirit energy to kind of shoot a ki blast, so to say. And it kind of reminds me of Goku from Dragon Ball, in a sense that he never gives up, even when he's... But that's the type of mentality that helped him defeat a lot of his opponents during the anime. And it's kind of what helped Goku kind of become what he is as well. And for some reason, those type of characters just resonate with me. The ones that just keep trying and eventually succeed in defeating their opponents. Now, Yusuke is the best character for me, simply because his backstory isn't as good as the others, too, as I'm about to bring up. And but he is interesting, but he isn't the best one in the anime. Yeah, I'll let you find out who that is. So at number 2, we have the main villain, and I think the best villain of this anime, Toguro. And he definitely has the best backstory. I don't care what anyone says. Sensui is okay, but Toguro is the man. Now, for Toguro, he was the lover and partner of Genkai. And Genkai is, of course, the master of Yusuke and Kuwabara. And he was kind of the partner of Genkai in the Dark Tournament years ago. However, Toguro wanted more power after his students were killed by a demon in order to never feel vulnerable. And he wished to become a demon himself. And that was his big wish. He was first defeated by Yusuke and Kuwabara teaming up against him. But of course, you know, Toguro actually faked that death. And, you know, of course, Yusuke and Kuwabara were naive to think that, oh yeah, it's that easy to beat this guy. And when this guy shows up to show Yusuke that he's not only dead, but 60% of his power, man, he had Yusuke so shook. And Yusuke couldn't even move whatsoever. And that's when I said Toguro is going to be damn near impossible to beat in the Dark Tournament. And this is kind of like with, excuse me if I keep mentioning Dragon Ball Z, but it's kind of like Goku versus Frieza and the power difference between them at first. And of course, Goku becomes a Super Saiyan and kind of catches up to Frieza. But that's just a whole different story. But that's basically what this is, kind of, in terms of like power difference. But yeah, Toguro is the second best character in Yu Hakusho. At number 1, we have Hiei. In almost every anime, there's always that one character who's just quiet, mysterious, and just, I don't know how you say this, badass. You know what I mean? And in Dragon Ball, it's Vegeta, you know? In Beyblade, it's Kai. In Yu-Gi-Oh, it's Kaiba. And in this anime, it's Hiei. Now, Hiei was actually introduced as a villain that Yusuke had to face in the beginning. But of course, somehow, you know, he became one of his kind of rivals and, you know, his friend at the end. And somehow he found himself alongside Yusuke. And he would always say the most disrespectful but yet funniest lines. And always brought realness to all the situations. And if you just watch the anime and just look at all the situations that they're in, he always said the realest things. And when he first brings out his Dragon of the Darkness Flame, that's when I said, this guy is cold. You know what I mean? And it kind of reminded me, and I hate to bring up Dragon Ball again, but when Vegeta turned Super Saiyan for the first time. And that experience kind of resonated with me when he first brought out the Dragon of the Darkness Flame. And that's what kind of set it off for me.
Flames, but they're in the deepest pit of the spirit world. Oh, help me.
Anyways, that's my list for the top 5 Yu Yu Hakusho characters. I didn't want to make this list too long and give tons of spoilers. I remember this is just the top 5 characters, not the top 5 strongest characters, or obviously the list would be different. But thank you for tuning in. I'll see you guys next time.